Hello my friends, welcome back, and if you are new to our channel, thank you for stopping by. Today it's a 12 row pattern for which I have taken 19 stitches and have worked 2 rows of knit. The first row of the pattern starts here. We are going to start off directly with 3 number of purl. That's the third. Yarn backwards. Now we are going to do a yarn over and work the 2 stitches together, for which we do the shifting. Once done, now 2 stitches are to be worked together from the back side of the work. That's done. Yarn forward. Now 4 number of purl. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 4 number of purl. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn backwards. Now the 2 stitches we are going to knit together from the front side of the work. Yarn forward. Now we are going to do a yarn over purlwise and then work 3 number of purl. 1, 2 and 3. So our first row comes to an end. Moving on to the second row of the pattern, we are going to start off with 3 number of purl. 1, 2 and 3. So 3 number of purl is done. Let us continue with 2 number of purl. 1 and 2. So a total of 5 number of purl has been done. Yarn backwards, 4 number of knit. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn forward, a purl. Yarn backwards, 4 number of knit. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn forward, 2 number of purl. The yarn overs also have to be worked, and now we have 3 stitches left in the left needle. That is also going to be purl. 1, 2 and 3. So a total of 5 purl has been worked. Let's move on to the third row. We are going to start off straight with 3 number of purl. You will notice that in the starting and in the end it's always going to be 3 number of purl. So 3 number of purl is done. Yarn backwards, a knit. Now let's do a yarn over and then we are going to work the 2 stitches together from the back, for which we are going to place our stitch properly and then work the 2 stitches together from the back side. So that's done. Yarn forward, 3 number of purl. 1, 2 and 3. Yarn backwards, a knit. Yarn forward, 3 number of purl. 1, 2 and 3. Yarn backwards. Now the 2 stitches are to be worked together from the front side of the work. That's done. Now let's do a yarn over and work a knit. Yarn forward, finally 3 stitches left. It's going to be a purl. 2 and 3. So the third row comes to an end. Moving on to the fourth row of the pattern. The 3 stitches in the beginning is always going to be purl, so that's done. Now we are going to continue with 3 more purl. 1, 2 and 3. So we worked a total of 6 number of purl. Yarn backwards, 3 number of knit. 1, 2 and 3. Yarn forward, a purl. Yarn backwards, 3 number of knit. 1, 2 and 3. Yarn forward, 3 number of purl. 1, 2 and 3, and finally 3 stitches left. That is also going to be a purl. 1, 2 and 3. So the fourth row comes to an end. Let us move on to the fifth row of the pattern. Let us start off with 3 number of purl. 1, 2 and 3. Yarn backwards, 2 number of knit. 1 and 2. Let's do a yarn over and work the 2 stitches together from the back side. So for that we do the shifting and then work them together. Yarn forward, 2 number of pearl, 1 and 2, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 2 number of pearl, yarn backwards. Now the 2 stitches are to be worked together from the front side of the work. Now let's do a yarn over and then work 2 number of knit. Now finally yarn forward, 3 number of pearl. So the 5th row comes to an end. Starting on with the 6th row of the pattern, we are going to start off with 3 number of pearl. So 3 number of pearl is done. Now we are going to work 4 number of pearl again, 2, 3 and 4. That means we have worked 7 number of pearl. Yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, yarn forward, a pearl, yarn backwards, 2 number of knit, yarn forward, 4 number of pearl, 1, that's the yarn over, that 2 is going to be pearl, 3 and 4. Now 3 stitches left, we know that's going to be pearl again. So the 6th row comes to an end. This is how our pattern has started to look. Now let us move on to the 7th row of the pattern. We are going to start off with 3 number of pearl, yarn backwards. It's going to be 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3. Now let's do a yarn over and the 2 stitches are to be worked from the back side. So we do the shifting and then work them together. Now yarn forward, a pearl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, a pearl, yarn backwards. Now the 2 stitches are to be worked together from the front side of the work. That's done. Now let's do a yarn over and work 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3, yarn forward, finally 3 stitches left and it's going to be pearl. So here our 7th row comes to an end. Now let us move on to the 8th row of the pattern. We are going to start off with 3 number of pearl. Once that is done, we are going to continue with 5 number of pearl, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That means total 8 number of pearl we work. Now it's going to be a knit, yarn forward, a pearl, yarn backwards, a knit, yarn forward, 5 number of pearl, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We still have 3 stitches left and we know it's going to be pearl, 3 number of pearl. So here the 8th row comes to an end. This is how our pattern is looking right now. Let's move on to the 9th row. We are going to start off with 3 number of pearl, 1, that's the 2nd and the 3rd. Once that is done, we are going to continue with 4 number of knit, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now let's do a yarn over, shift the stitch, place it properly so that we can work them together from the back side of the work. That's done. Now a knit. Now again the 2 stitches are to be worked together from the front side of the work. So that's done. Now let's do a yarn over and work 4 number of knit, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn forward, finally 3 stitches left, it's going to be pearl. So here the 9th row comes to an end. Let us move on to the 10th row of the pattern. And 10th row is going to be very easy. We are just going to purl all across. Now I would like to repeat, this is a 12 row pattern for which stitches have to be taken in the multiple of 16 plus 3, and for this particular sample I have taken 16 plus 3, that is 19 stitches. And here we are working the 10th row of the pattern. So 10th row is extremely easy. We just have to purl all across, and the 10th row comes to an end. Let us move on to the 11th row, the most crucial row. We are going to start off with 3 number of purl. That's done. Yarn backwards. Now it's going to be 6 number of knit. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now this straight line, there we are going to make the bubble. That's the first stitch. Out of 1 we are going to get 5. Yarn over, that's the second. This is the third. See, 3 stitches we have. Again a yarn over, that's going to be the fourth, and finally the fifth. So out of 1 stitch, if you count, we have got 5 stitches, and that's going to be our bubble. Now the same stitch, we turn it around and work 5 number of purl. 1, slowly we are going to do. We are not going to hurry. That's the third. This is the fourth, and finally the fifth. So that's done. Our bubble is in making. Again we turn our work. See, we have 5 stitches. Now we are going to slip 3 stitches into the right needle without working. That's the second. This is the third. That's done. Now the 2 stitches are left in the left needle. Those we are going to work together from the back side of the work. So here now we have only 4 stitches. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to pass the 3 stitches which are behind over the first stitch in front of it carefully. The first one is passed, this is the second, and finally the third one is also passed over the main stitch or the first stitch. So our beautiful bubble has already formed. Now we are going to continue with the pattern, that is 6 number of knit. That's done. After the bubble we have worked 6 number of knit, yarn forward, 3 number of purl. So here my 11th row comes to an end. See how beautiful our pattern is looking, and the bubble is making it more beautiful. Now the 12th row, it's very easy. We are just going to purl all across. This is the 12th row of the pattern. Now I would like to repeat again, this is a 12 row pattern, perfect for sweaters, cardigans, pullovers, jackets, and stitches have to be taken in a multiple of 16 plus 3, and for this sample I have taken just 16 plus 3, that is 19 stitches, and have worked 2 rows of knit before starting of the first row of the pattern. So this is my 12th row, which is coming to an end, and here it is. Completing the first set of pattern. This is how it looks. It's a cute pattern, perfect for sweaters, cardigans, pullovers, jackets, anything. See how cute it looks. So thank you my dear friends for staying till the end. If you all have liked the video, do give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family members. If you are new to our channel, do consider subscribing and stay tuned for interesting videos. So till we meet again, it's bye for today.